All right.
So, David, thank you very much for being on the show today. I have a lot of interest in you and what you believe in. My friends and peers have a lot of interest in what you believe in. I am a fence sitter. I'm open to the facts. I'm not married to the ball, like
Do you know
Eddie
what that
Bravo would
translates
say.
to? You're a flat earther. You're just not ready to admit it publicly yet.
I get a lot of ridicule for even asking about it. I'll ask people, and I'm not fully believing into it, but I will throw it at people to see what they think. And I'll throw any kind of facts that I know about it.
So
I, I'm I'm not an expert.
I'm gonna prove
Okay,
my statement right here. Do you know what cryptocurrency is?
absolutely.
All right. Would you like a Bitcoin?
Hell yeah, I would.
Okay, give me one proof of the globe.
One proof.
One proof of the globe. I'll
I know
transfer
it's
the
not.
Bitcoin. I'll transfer the Bitcoin to you right now.
I know it's not pictures because those are all fake for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I know I haven't seen the ISS in real life, International Space Station. Um, I guess my only proof could be possibly would be pictures from the moon, which is probably fake too. Maybe what about
Pictures of the Earth from the moon is your proof of the globe. I mean,
yeah.
pictures like when the Japanese filmed the moonrise, the Earth rise from the moon. Have you seen that one?
No, I don't think I have.
That's one
Oh,
of my
from the moon.
favorites. From the moon, the Japanese
Oh,
filmed
sweet. You got
the
a camera.
Earthrise. Check it out. Ready? Here it comes. You
Yes.
can't fake this now. This is unfakeable. This is the Earthrise. Look at this horizon on the moon. It's what is that? 10 feet away or 20 feet away?
I don't know. It looks fake as hell.
It is fake as hell, but this is what they showed us as real.
They said that was real.
They said this is real.
I could have made that in Photoshop.
You could have done it in MS Paint. You don't need Photoshop for this. That's an insult to Photoshop. Now, in Photoshop, you can make a better Earth than NASA
Yeah.
makes. We made this, okay? And we made an Earth that looks better than NASA's.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Y'all made that. Oh, okay. You're showing the steps of how y'all made it like the
yeah,
quick time.
it's a little sped up. We're not this good.
Yeah, no, I get it. That looks pretty good. And see, the thing is, I've come to realize in the past year, I finally found out that NASA has a design engineer for their pictures.
Yeah, Robert Simmons is the guy that made the blue marble, right? The blue marble is the one that was on everyone's iPhone, and he
Mm,
said he made it in Photoshop. He says,
damn.
I had data here. There was more algae in the water,
Hold
so
on, is that fake right there? You made that
this
video?
is fake. This is
Y'all
a
made that?
fake Earth. Yes, I'm going to
Jesus, that
compare it.
looks
I'm going to compare it to NASA's Earth. Ready?
okay.
It's almost done, and
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
compare
So
it to NASA's Earth, and then
yeah.
okay, Photoshop, NASA. Well, they're both Photoshop, but ours is better. Ours is better. I'm sorry.
Yours looks more
Ours is
high
better.
def.
Yeah, ours is better.
Mm.
This is what NASA gives us. Robert Simmons, the guy who made this, said he made it in Photoshop. He says, we made areas bluer where the temperature was warmer and we added clouds, but he was too lazy to add fresh clouds. So he stepped and repeated the same clouds again and again, right? Same
What?
clouds. Look, if you zoom in on this, these clouds are stepped and repeated.
Yeah, they look exactly the same.
They are exactly the same. They don't
Okay,
look
so
exactly the same. They are exactly the same. And then look at the United States here. Well, somebody had a heavy hand, when they made the second one. It looks a little bigger. Compare
so
that. What's that?
so are they saying that this is a real picture?
No, NASA admits
Oh,
they
they're
don't have any
admitting.
real
Okay.
pictures, but they've
Okay.
led everyone to believe these
Yes.
pictures. If you look at this, we can actually, this is something we can measure across Mexico and Baja, get
Mm-hmm.
the 934 miles. The diameter of the Earth, NASA says 7,917. I should be able to fit 8.5 of these in between the diameter, which is a straight line, and 8.5 does not fit on there.
Mm.
Okay. This is a painting.
Oh, okay. I see now.
This is a
The
painting.
the ones in the bottom is 8 of them, and
Yeah,
then the top is just
yeah.
okay. I see.
This distance, I should be able
Yeah.
to fit 8. If this is true, this is kind of straight on. I should
Yes.
fit 8.5 of these in between here. I could fit like 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing they show us is real. I mean, Pluto.
Do you
Pluto
think that one's
has
fake?
Pluto on Pluto.
What the
Does that look
hell?
like Pluto? A little
Yes.
bit. Maybe I'm tripping.
No, it
You know,
looks a little bit.
maybe I'm tripping. Um, they're
So I
mock.
gotta,
Go ahead.
yeah. So when I was a kid, I'd always see all these amazing pictures. We would buy space books and we look at, man, look at that galaxy. Look at all these
That's what it's all about.
pictures Hubble took. Man, it's beautiful. And then about 10 years ago, not 10 years, maybe about 5 years ago, I realized that all those pictures are fake. I mean, they're all cut, like they say, like they get a grainy picture and we made it look more beautiful for colors and gases and all that stuff. So do you think that those pictures of those massive nebulas and quasars, what is that? Is that real?
Somebody had a watercolor and they just painted. It's nonsense. None of that's real. But let me ask you a question. Is that a can of Del Monte beans and a soda can with tinfoil wrapped around it, or is that the Hubble Space Telescope?
That is the Hubble, aka can of beans.
Yeah. Okay. So check this out. If you watch like a Nova show, this is like one of my. Just think about this. Giant telescopes prove the Earth is flat and stationary. So I was watching, they tell about the deep space field where the telescope on Earth is focusing on like a quarter of a
I've seen that,
and then they
it's amazing
focus for the really long time, and then you can see 100 galaxies or 1,000 galaxies, right?
Yes.
Right? That's mind control to make you feel insignificant and small. But that telescope is on a cement pad. That pad is like 10 feet thick because it has to be. So like if a technician walks by and the vibration of his step could vibrate the mirror and it could ruin the whole picture. Right?
You're talking about the ones on the Earth, right?
Yeah, the ones on the Earth.
Okay.
So they're on these giant pads just to make sure there's no vibration whatsoever. Okay.
Okay.
Are they forgetting that the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, corkscrewing through space, chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour, orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour, while it's trying to focus on that distant galaxy? Right?
It's
unexplainable. The Hubble is falling around that spinning corkscrewing Earth at 17,000 miles an hour. How the hell
faster than a bullet
is that going to focus on anything?
I don't know, dude.
It's no. It's not that you don't know. You do know. You know that it's complete and total bullshit. There's no explanation in the world that anyone can come up with that could explain that.
Yeah, because they had to have because the story goes they held it still in a black speck. I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
So if it's real, it's mind blowing.
Yeah. So it has the axis on that telescope has to account for all of the motions of the Earth, and it's moving in 4 different directions at once. I don't think it does that. You ever use a super zoom camera or a telescope, right?
Yeah.
When you zoom out, you need a tripod. You need to hold that. Like if you're on a boat with calm water, just slightly undulating water, and you're trying to look at something through that camera in a long, on a super zoom camera, you can't keep it in the frame. You're moving all over the place. That's just the slight undulations of a boat.
Do you think maybe in space it's more still? Maybe
I'm talking about
there's no gravity.
I'm talking about the Hubble Space Telescope is falling around the Earth at 17,000 miles an hour.
That's what they're saying. But,
yes.
But you don't think maybe there's a way it could be possible? Okay, does the Hubble telescope actually exist?
No.
The thing itself?
Nothing's in space. Nothing.
Nothing is in space?
The only thing that's going to space is your imagination. Satellites are on balloons. NASA owns all of the helium companies in the world.
Really?
And they are the largest consumer of helium.
I did not know that.
And they have created a fictitious helium shortage because they don't want people building airships like there used to be in the 1800s, gigantic airships.
Yeah.
Because they don't want people having access to Antarctica and what's out there.
Okay. Yes, I want to get into Antarctica for sure, but I want to ask you about something. So, okay, that's a satellite going up into space there.
Satellite, also known as a satelloon.
So satellites are real, right? They're just
satellites.
Go ahead.
They're hanging from balloons, right?
Okay. So are they orbiting Because
No.
they would say a satellite is orbiting, right? It's spinning around the Earth.
Yeah,
So what does the satellite? What do those do? Do they
these
orbit?
things they go up and they can control them. Some of these balloons are
Mhm.
bigger than football stadiums.
Damn.
Think of that.
Yeah.
The Superdome, a balloon
Huge.
bigger than the Superdome. Okay. Maybe that's some of the things that we're seeing when they're cruising by. And there's air currents up there moving around. These things are moving.
Right.
And by controlling the height of these things, they can bring them into counter rotating air currents so they can kind of keep them right where they want to. These things crash around the earth all the time. They crash in the Amazon, and people are getting, now that everybody has a high def camera in their pocket, they're getting pictures of them. We're told to believe that all of these satellites are falling around the earth while it's corkscrewing through space.
Is that a rendition of how many satellites are supposedly in the air?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
I've heard of space junk. A nut will freaking blow a hole through anything.
Yeah.
Like it going that fast. That's what they say, right? If a nut were to hit the International Space Station, it would blow a damn hole through it.
Cool story, bro.
Man, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So,
and think about this, a geostationary satellite. Imagine this little guy right here as a geostationary satellite. That means it stays over the same point of the land. Okay. It's staying over the same point of land while the Earth is spinning, corkscrewing through space. How is it mirroring all of those motions of the Earth and staying over the same point in land?
What is that?
A geostationary satellite is a satellite that's just the right distance of Earth, that its speed matches the rotational speed of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if it's over Connecticut, it'll stay over Connecticut. That's a geostationary satellite. But you have to remember, Connecticut is spinning, twirling, swirling, and rocketing in 4 different directions at once. How is that satellite mirroring all of that?
I can't explain it.
Yeah, because there is no explanation, because it's all pseudoscience nonsense. It's all. Go ahead.
Do you think NASA knows for a fact that there is this flat?
NASA was created to make us believe we live on a ball. NASA is not real. Okay. If you look at the moon missions, we have an astronaut. We have an astronaut, the NASA advisor. We have sci-fi author Arthur C. Clarke, who made up satellites, and then all of a sudden there were satellites. We have movie director Stanley Kubrick, who allegedly filmed the moon missions. We have a senior administrator for the Apollo with them. What are the odds that these guys are all together a year or two before we go to the moon?
Yeah, I'm not convinced we went to the moon at all.
You're not. Come on. Don't you think we went to the moon in this? 2 guys in a car and a bunch of golf clubs? We're in this thing?
No, I don't think so, man. That looks.
Come on, there has to be an explanation. Come on. No, Dave, there is no explanation. It's all fraud, right? You can't go to the moon in duct tape and paper mache and curtain rods and tinfoil.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's so many questions. What is there an atmosphere?
Here. We're here. I believe there's a dome over us.
Okay.
And the air is denser down lower just due to buoyancy and density. Lighter gases go up, heavier gases go down. The wind mixes things a little bit. And we live in this energetic environment where it's really an electrical system. The sun and the moon are the anode and cathode of the battery system. And there's all this free energy. But yeah, I don't believe that there's space. I believe that we go up and up and up, and then all of a sudden the air kind of turns thicker into like plasma, and then it turns into liquid water, and then it becomes a hard, fast dome over that.
Like a solid dome.
A solid dome, but there's waters above us. Why does NASA refer to everything in marine terms? The Sea of Tranquility, their docking, their ships. Everything is nautical terms.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. What is past the dome? I know that's speculation, obviously, but what do you think was past the dome? There's got to be something outside of the dome, right?
Does there?
I don't know.
Yeah, so what is above the dome? I don't know.
Have you thought about that? Have you gave it any thought?
I've thought of what's beyond the dome, not above the dome, right?
Yeah, like what's past, like if you were to go outside of it, like in the Truman Show, Remember, he
Yeah.
opens the door and he steps outside.
The
Like,
True
whoa.
Man show. The True Man show you talking about? Okay. What's beyond, so
Yeah.
the earth is like a big
Yeah.
pond. It's a big
Mhm.
lake.
Oh shit.
All of the continents are surrounded by water, but the water needs a container. The water is surrounded
Mhm.
by Antarctica.
Ice.
Antarctica
Mm.
is the highest land on earth. It's the container. We live in the Antarctic basin. If you were at a lake and all of a sudden the shoreline of the lake disappeared, all the water is just going to go
Mhm.
away and find its level in
Yes.
the basin. If there
Yes.
is a basin, like if you had a bathtub and you snap your finger in the bathtub disappeared, well, the water's gone also.
Mhm.
Okay? Water needs a container. Antarctica is a container. We live in the Antarctic basin. Antarctica could be bigger than all of the continents and all of the oceans combined, right? Just this
Yes.
giant landmass with this little world lake in it, right? Antarctica is not a continent at the bottom of the ball. It's the shoreline that surrounds us. What's beyond there? Well, we can speculate. Maybe we live here in this inner space. Our sun and
Mhm.
moon circle around in here. And
Oh
then
snap.
outside of Antarctica, in this outer space, there's extra terra,
Yeah.
extraterrestrial land, extra territory. So
Yep.
extraterrestrials come from outer space beyond Antarctica,
Yes. So you
right?
think that might be where aliens come from?
Extraterrestrials come from the extra terra.
Lizard people.
Well, maybe they're humans. Maybe they speak English.
Yeah.
Maybe the lizard people live below us, right? Because we can
Yeah.
only go down 7.5, 8 miles, and then there's an impenetrable barrier. Maybe there's a whole nother world down there. Maybe there's another world above us. Maybe there's a heavenly realm above us and a denser hellish realm below us.
So what do you say to let's say if you go out in the middle of the desert in, I don't know, Nevada, somewhere where it's pitch black and you see that rolling picture of the galaxy, you know
Well,
what I
what
mean, where
you're
it looks
seeing,
like it's spinning and there's billions and trillions of stars. What do you say about that?
billions and trillions. So people throw out these numbers like they're nothing. So
Mhm.
how long do you think 1 trillion seconds is? Second chance at a Bitcoin.
Eh,
Guess it within a week and you get a Bitcoin. 1 trillion seconds.
1 quadrillion years.
1 trillion, not a quadrillion, just
I
a
was
trillion.
close.
How long is 1 trillion seconds?
1 trillion seconds.
Yeah, 1 trillion seconds.
I don't know, 50 trillion years.
How could it be 50 trillion years?
I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking. Okay, say that again.
1 trillion seconds. How long is 1 trillion seconds?
Oh, okay. I don't know, 6 million years.
Close. No, not even close. 31,000 years. Okay. It's a
Okay.
lot. I'm saying the numbers are lots. When you say there's trillions of stars, I don't know. I didn't count a trillion. Did you ever count a trillion? I don't even know there's
No.
a billion stars. These lights that we see in the sky are close and small, and they're provable that we can't see them if they're at the distances they tell us. So think about this. The sun, they tell us, is this giant, where is it?
Burning
The
ball of
sun is
gas.
this giant burning ball of gas, and we're this
Yes.
tiny little speck next to it.
We can
Okay?
fit 1 million of those in the sun, supposedly.
That's what they tell us. That's what they tell us. So if the sun was right over our head, right, was like a mile over our head, it would fill the entire sky. You look up and it's all you see, right? Then you move it away and it gets smaller due to perspective, right?
Yes.
And then when it's 93 million miles away, where they tell us it is,
Mm-hmm.
it's about the size of a coin held at arm's length, right? Good description. So think about how much it reduced. It reduced from the entire sky, if the sun was just literally right above your head,
Mm-hmm.
to just a little dot in the sky. If you doubled the distance, could you see it?
No.
Okay, good answer. What if we, just to be sure, we'll say 8 times as far? Definitely couldn't see it. And you can scientifically prove that because its angular size would be smaller than our eye could resolve. And then there's brightness issues beyond that because light inversely gets dimmer as you double the distance. So 8 times as, so hold on. 8 times as far is a light hour. Okay, it's
Yes.
1 light hour. The closest star, the closest one,
Mm-hmm.
is 4.5 light years away.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
many hours in a year? A lot. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
So,
The speed,
so
and not only that,
it's magnitudes farther than we could possibly even see, and all the other stars are farther. Nonsense. All of these stars that we see are close. They're very close. Like when I always say the thing, when the moon's in the sky, I live in Connecticut, New York is right down the road pretty much. And I say, what's closer, the moon or New York City? And my answer is the moon.
So, okay. So science tells us that there are suns that are a million times bigger than our sun. Do you think that would compensate for the distance? I'm sure you've heard that one. Okay, all right then.
So
Okay,
hold on. Let me answer that question. So the answer to that question is they tell us that these stars are billions of times bigger, or whatever.
Yes.
Polaris, the North Star, which never moves, proves that we're not moving, proves that we're not spinning, but Polaris is always in the exact same spot in the sky, never moves a fraction of an inch. They say Polaris is 46 times bigger than our sun. Okay. So remember, the sun at 8 times its distance is a light hour, and there's no way we can see it. So to have the Polaris be at the same size distance, we'd have to make it 46 times farther than the light hour. So that's 46 hours. We'll call it 2 light days. So at 2 light days, we can scientifically prove that Polaris, 46 times bigger than our sun, would be invisible, period. You could not see it at 2 light hours. And they tell us Polaris is 433 light years away. Is your mind turning into gravy yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
this is the star Arcturus. Does that look like a burning ball trillions and trillions and trillions of miles away? Right?
No,
our consumer
optics,
have outgrown their lies. This is Capella. Totally different. Pulsar, it's another star. This is what a star really looks like.
Really?
Right? Here's the star that's the same one. Sirius. Okay. Kind of looks like it's underwater. Here's a whole bunch of stars.
What?
These are stars with today's consumer optics. Go out and buy yourself a Nikon P900 or P1000 camera. Get a good tripod. Zoom in on a star. Difficult to get them in focus. Some of these aren't in perfect focus, but doesn't matter. This is what we're seeing.
That's crazy.
Right? I think that they're souls. I think that we're actually seeing souls, and that, you know, in the heavens above, souls exist, and they incarnate here in this thicker dimension. And we're here expanding the mind of the creator, but some assholes have hijacked us with the television and all of this nonsense and have convinced us that, you know, all of these things that we shouldn't have to do. The only control people have over us is in our minds, right?
Yes.
What if everyone in the world went out tomorrow and said, no more of this mass stuff. We're just going to do our thing, and we're not going to pay attention to any of your laws. What could they do? They could do nothing. We are the 99.99999%. They are the Zippo, nothing.
Yes. I fully agree with all of that last statement you said. I've never heard that they might be souls. That's very interesting.
Yeah, so I think that the currency of this realm is souls, and the soul is a piece of God. So we're here with a piece of God in us, and it animates us. Our soul is our life, right? We have our main soul, and then we have other souls, you know, a family of souls in our body. And we protect our souls with everything that makes us human, love and caring and joy and ambition and desire, all of these shields over us. But what they try to do is beat that out of us with fear. Definitely. And if they can remove all of that and get you depressed enough where you're just, just rip everything away from you, separate us so we don't gather together, because one mind is powerful. 2 minds together is 100 times more powerful. A whole group of people together literally could build pyramids with their minds. Okay. Maybe that's what happened, years ago. And they don't want that, because they don't want you to know that you are at the center of creation and that you can create your own reality. Everything you have in your life is because of the way you think, right?
I can get on board with that. I think that these people, the powers that be, are complete assholes. They want us to hate each other. They want us to fight with each other. They want our souls to be tormented. They do everything they can to implement their satanic views on us. They want to get God out of everything. They want us to be complete sheep and blinded to everything that is the truth. They even if the earth was flat, they don't want us to believe that. It's just complete garbage, man. And these people were all satanic worshipers. NASA was started by a damn Nazi, ran by Wernher von Braun, which is a straight up full blown Nazi. And I guarantee you that they hid a bunch of Nazis. And talking to, yes, Wernher von Braun, he didn't. What's that say?
That's his gravestone. It says Psalms 19:1, the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament showeth his handiwork. He's talking about the dome. Now, whether he was a whistleblower in his deathbed or somehow he got that up, or they're required to tell us what they're doing, and this is part of their disclosure, right? They put it up.
That's magic, right?
Yeah, it's right. It's wizardry. So that's one thing. And Wernher von Braun, very interesting guy, Nazi, you said, German, brought over.
He made the V2 rocket.
Right. In 1957, he wrote a book called Project Mars. And it's about a group of people that went to Mars and started a colony there. And the leader of that group, you want to guess what his name was? Elon. And this is the ship that Elon Musk is saying he's going to take people to Mars in.
Are you serious?
Month ago, well, it looks pretty close to the same, right?
No, it does.
It looks pretty close. A month ago, Elon tweeted, and you can look it up. I think I want to redesign this and make it pointier.
I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
I heard him say that. Interesting.
This is available on Amazon, but they just changed the cover. Literally, like, I don't know if they sell it with this cover anymore. It's a different cover. The rocket's gone.
Do you think Elon Musk knows that the Earth is flat? Because he has a lot of investment into.
He's a total puppet for the elite. He just does what he's told. He's not the CEO of anything. He's probably, MK Ultra mind controlled automaton.
Wow.
He's the CEO of the largest solar power company. He's the CEO of the largest electric car company. He's the CEO of Neuralink to link minds to computers. He's the CEO of the largest tunneling company in the world. He's the CEO that took over NASA. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, what human could do all of that? Sorry. I don't even know if he's a real person at this point.
Yeah, he's a weird dude, especially watching him in his interviews.
Yeah, and I don't know if he sometimes goes off the rail or if he's just out there to just keep the stage going. It's the whole world is a stage, and Elon is part of it.
Crazy.
For people that think, if I showed you on the International Space Station, which is fake, I'm sure. One time, if you catch them faking floating things, that's all you need to know that they're faking everything. They just got a delivery of food, and they had fresh fruit, which they normally don't have. And they were playing with a lemon, and he went to grab it and watch. It's not real. This is a augmented reality object. It's not really there.
So it was photoshopped.
It's not photoshopped. It's called augmented reality, where you can manipulate things in that aren't there. You could be playing with things, and then the computer graphics put it in. It's not Photoshop. It's called, like, right here. Look, there's nothing here. She's talking to kids. Watch. All of a sudden, this stuffed animal shows up, and now she's playing with it. It's not real. The ball is real because it's filled with helium. So it's just in that they got a perfect floating globe. So she's got one real thing, one augmented reality. This is augmented reality. So this is what she's seeing, but then the computer fills in, to make it look like what they want.
Kind of like how they do video games. They put like little balls on cats or humans, and it moves around, and they can like digitally record it.
Similar, yes.
Kind of like that.
I mean, if you watch the making of the movie Gravity, when they're in the space, they're going like this. She's turning nothing, but then when you watch the movie, she's turning a knob, but she's really going like this. I mean, look, she's pressing a button. It's not there. She's in an elevator right now. It's not there, right? And
they're so good at it, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is just easy. And then the space station, when these guys are floating around on the space station, there's different times when they show short clips, they're in a 0G plane and they're actually floating, and they clip a whole bunch of things together and they make a scene. But sometimes when you have these longer clips of them, they're just hanging from wires in a green screen studio. And for example, there's one time where Chris Hatfield was playing his guitar, and the other astronaut's recording him. Let me see if I can find it. He's recording him, and they're actually in different rooms, right? Yeah, here they are. Here's Chris Hadfield, and this guy, he's in another room, but he's misplacing where Chris is. He's got the dimensions wrong, and he sticks the microphone right into his neck. Look, microphone is inside of his neck because he's miscalculating where he is. Inside of his neck.
Weird.
Yeah.
And so you think these are just mess ups?
These are, right? They screw ups all the time. Then they take them down, but we've already grabbed them off the internet. Sometimes they don't notice them before we notice them because, there's so many mistakes. Now, they're really either stupid or horrible, or they're doing it on purpose just to give us a fighting chance, because they always have to let us know so that it's not really breaking our free will. Look, when they're on the space station, they're floating on the space station. Everyone's like, oh, whoa, that's incredible. Yeah. But if I had a harness, I could do a flip. And when they do their flips, they're always rotating over an axis point. If I was in the space station, I went like this, I'd go flying down that hallway.
You hit the wall.
I'd go in all different directions. But these guys always flip from their hips. They always pivot from their hips.
And not only that, they're also traveling thousands and thousands of miles.
17,500 miles per hour.
That's faster than a bullet.
Yeah. But everything's relative. There's no air, everything's relative. And it's like they're free falling. It's the dumbest crap ever. Right? When they're on harnesses, they flip.
Yeah.
And this is the Argo system, this is what NASA uses to train their astronauts for spacewalks. Well, how similar does that look? This guy is in a friggin' studio, and they've photoshopped out the wires.
Yeah.
And it's the dumbest crap ever. The biggest argument that they have is, what about the space station tour? There's like 2 videos that are like 15, 20 minutes long of them going through the entire space station. Okay. And sometimes they go down a hallway this way. Sometimes they go down a hallway this way. Sometimes they go up. Sometimes they go that way. Right. And they say it's uncut. There's plenty of cuts in it, but the person's following with the camera and everything, and they turn upside down. If I was hanging in the space station, right, and all of a sudden I pretend I'm turning over, but the entire space station turns upside down, and the camera turns with it, you couldn't tell. I would still be right side up. I would turn over, right, and you wouldn't. Okay. You couldn't tell that the camera and the background is going. So the way they do these space station tours, there's many tricks. They so the astronauts here, and they reach up and they grab that handle and they pull themselves down the hallway, right? Yeah,
I've seen that.
But instead of that, imagine I'm hanging on wires. I can't go anywhere. I could just flip. I could move around. I could float, and it's everything. So when I go like this and I grab and I pull, I actually pull the entire space station, which is just fake, through me. This way I can go, I'm going to go this way, and the whole space station goes down, right? And the camera follows me. And literally, I'm just staying in the same space, and I'm pulling the space station through the area that I'm in. But you can't tell because the camera's, on me.
So I get what you're saying. But okay, so then I got to ask you, why do you think, these people have to know that they're faking it? Right. They have to know
what the astronauts.
They have to know, right?
Of course.
So why won't they say anything?
Except Don Pettit.
Who's that?
He's retarded. He thinks he's in space.
Oh. So why aren't they coming out saying, "Hey man, I had to fake it. This is a bunch of BS."
Well, Buzz Aldrin actually was being interviewed by a little kid, and she said, "How come we didn't go back to the moon?" And he was either having a bad day or something, and he said, "Well, because we never went," right? Really? And that's the way it is. And it was this crazy interview, and he's made some very weird reactions, said a few things. There was also a couple of years ago, not that long ago, a Polish astronaut that was being interviewed, and they said someone asked him something about the Earth, the shape of the Earth, and he was having a bad day, and he said, "The Earth is flat. I assure you, it's flat." And I think he also said, "I assure you, nobody's gone into space. No one has ever gone into space."
Is that on video?
What's that? Yeah, it's on video.
Oh, really?
It's on video.
Wow.
It's on video.
So what do you think is under the flat Earth? Like, is it like a pyramid of rocks, kind of like a upside down mountain or something?
I think it's a turtle. I think we're on the back of a turtle.
You think it's a turtle?
No, I do not.
Oh, I was like, oh shit.
But it's an interesting story, you know, and
yeah, the
you know,
Hindus, right?
if you look at you ever look at the back of a turtle, an
Yes.
actual turtle?
Yes.
Yeah, well, the back of a turtle is literally a calendar. It has 13 squares. I'm trying to find the image to illustrate it while I talk. It has 13 squares, which represent the 13 moons that there used to be. And then it has 28 tiles around the outside, which represent the 28 days in the 13 moons, which is interesting. I don't know what the hell it
Do
means.
do they use that? Is that like the origin of the calendar?
Maybe it just has something to do with the earth. And I don't know, man. That stuff
Okay.
is.
I know. Okay. So are we, let's say the earth is flat. Is it spinning like a disc?
The earth does
Like
not
this?
move
It doesn't move at all.
whatsoever. Not at
Does not.
all in any direction at all.
Okay.
Right? Are
Okay.
you familiar with the Georgia Guidestones?
Yes.
So
Yes, I am.
yeah, besides what they represent, there's a hole in one of them, and if you look through it, Polaris is
Mhm.
there. It never moves. Time lapse, all the
Mhm.
stars circle around it.
Crazy.
How could that be
And
if we're corkscrewing through space, traveling trillions of miles? How could Polaris always
oh,
stay in that hole? It's been there for over 40 years.
okay, but
That
how did
proves
they
we're not
do that?
moving at all.
Oh, okay, that's how you're saying how it's there because we're just not
Because
moving.
we're not moving, and
Yeah,
everything in
because
the
I was gonna
sky
say,
rotates around Polaris.
and not only that, it says on the Georgia Guidestones that they want 500 million people on the entire planet.
Yeah,
That
I
they
don't
want to
believe the
wipe
current
us out.
population numbers, but they do want to push it down to 500 million. And it's
Yes.
not like they wrote it in stone or anything.
Okay, so how many people do you think there are on the planet?
That's a great question. I don't think it's 7 billion. I think it's closer to 1 billion, maybe two
Really?
billion, right? But
Where did you come up with that? Like, why
there's
do you
people that
think
have
that?
done, if you do the calculations of, people of population growth calculations, our
Hmm.
calendar's been hijacked. It's hard to tell anything that's what's going on with the number of people. But especially there was a reset that happened in the late 1800s, some sort of mud
Hmm.
flood, regional or worldwide mud flood. And we inherited this old, lots of the structures here. Most of New York is, buildings from the previous realm, and all over the world. And there wasn't that many people. So I
Okay.
think that I think that there's a lot of deception there. So is it 2 billion? Maybe. If you said take a guess, I would say between 1 and 2 billion.
Okay. So what's up with global warming? Is that real?
No.
I don't think it's real either.
No, none of it's
I
real.
don't
Now, pollution,
know.
bad. Pollution's bad. We
Yes,
shouldn't pollute.
yes. That I
But
mean,
look at
I
all the
think
spraying they're doing in the sky. That's what's causing the real
the
issues with
chemtrails.
the climate. They're trying to control the climate and more. That's not what chemtrails are all about. But chemtrails are no longer a conspiracy. They admit it. They have
Yes, they
patents
did.
for it. They're doing it. They said they're going to do it, and nobody cares.
John Brennan admitted it on
Right.
C-SPAN.
Right.
Okay, so okay,
Nobody
I don't
notices.
understand.
Nobody cares.
I know, right? I wonder why they don't try to clean up the planet rather than try to take our money. Like, how are they justifying? Oh, we need to stop global warming, so we're going to tax the shit out of the middle
No,
class.
it's all about control, man. They're trying to control our minds. They don't want us to know that maybe there's more land out there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a story about the Iron Republic where people left here in the 1600s because of tyranny, and they moved out with their technology to these outer lands
Really?
in the outer space beyond
Whoa.
Antarctica. And
Whoa.
there was a story of a senator that had a ship, and he went out to Antarctica and he found a way through, and he was lost at sea. And then he came back and said, he was in 1901. He started writing these articles in Florida Magazine about this land out there where they had flat screens and electric cars and all of this stuff. Right, 1901. He's writing about this,
Yeah.
and it was
I wouldn't doubt
incredible.
that. I mean, because
Yeah.
that stuff, I'm pretty sure they had that figured out long ago. They just barely trickle it out to us.
Yeah,
Because
and
if
so
we
maybe
really knew what
that's
they
where our
had,
real controllers are. Our real controllers live in the outer space, and
mm,
John Kerry and other dignitaries go to meetings in Antarctica. John Kerry, on election day, when Trump
what?
was elected the first time, went to Antarctica on election day. What are they doing
Why?
down there?
Okay.
Maybe that's where the real controllers of this inner realm, the inner ring, Lord of the
Yes.
Rings. I mean,
Okay.
this is insanity. This is
Yes.
insanity.
So there's a treaty that says you cannot go to Antarctica and you cannot fight for Antarctica. No one can go over there and claim Antarctica. What the hell is going on in Antarctica? Is there a huge hole in the middle of it? Is there land past it? There was stories of Nazi, different types of Nazi organizations and crazy bunkers and all kinds of crap that has to do with the Nazis in Antarctica. What the hell's going on over there, David?
They're telling us a lot of stories about Antarctica because in 1946 they basically started discovering they had the technology, with airplanes and whatnot to go to Antarctica. So they discovered the ice wall. And then in 1955, they had Project Deep Freeze where they discovered the dome. In 1959, in Encyclopedia Americana, there, if you look up under Antarctica, and it's hard to find these encyclopedias anymore, it said there's at 80 degrees south, the dome is at 13,000 feet.
At 80 degrees south.
At 80 degrees south, the dome ceiling is at 13,000 feet. So they knew about the dome. So then they created NASA in 1958 to hide the firmament. Then Admiral Byrd flew out there and said, there's land. He went on television. There's land bigger than the United States, filled with resources beyond the poles, and no human has ever set eyes upon. Okay, beyond the poles. What the hell does that mean? How does that work on a ball, right? And then he was silenced. He never spoke again, and he died. Not I don't know how long after, but not long after. And all of a sudden, with all the countries fighting for resources, they all signed a treaty that said in 1959, nobody can go explore Antarctica. You can't even question the treaty until the year 2041. Okay, 2041. No treaty has lasted the test of time, especially when it comes to resources.
Yeah.
And the reason for the treaty is to protect the fucking penguins. Okay?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's what they said?
And the ice. The ice is pristine. We can't drop a cigarette butt on it. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Then they had Operation Fishbowl, where they started trying to blow a hole in the firmament with bombs.
Whoa.
And if you could find the videos of that, you'd see the bomb exploding and it was spreading out over, like it's hitting a layer, something thicker.
I got to see that.
And then
what do you know?
The Apollo missions to hide the whole thing, to make you believe you can live on a ball. And there's nothing left to discover, Truman. It's all been discovered. You live on a ball.
Okay. So what happens? Okay, remember in the Truman Show, he took his boat and he hit the damn edge of the wall. So what do you think would happen if you walked past Antarctica, kept walking, got into the Greenlands, got to the edge of?
You'd probably find another ocean.
Do you think it would be a wall? Like it would be the start of the wall and then go up?
Again, some people don't believe there's a dome. Some people believe it's a physical dome. Some people believe it's an energetic dome. Some people think that maybe there's a dome over a dome over a dome. And there's certain times when you can get through and certain times you can't, when there's certain planetary alignments or cycles end and open. The elite seem to be trying to blow a hole in it for some reason. And then when Hillary Clinton lost, she did her commencement speech, and her commencement speech, is that right? Or her I'm losing my words. Her I lost speech.
Okay, that'll work.
The condolence speech. Whatever.
Yeah, I lost speech.
I lost speech. And she goes, there's that high glass ceiling above us. We're going to blow it a hole in it one day. She goes, there's plenty of cracks. We're going to get through it sooner than later. That is satanic. They're trying to break
an evil
God's
bitch.
Creation. Right.
Damn right. Her child was thanking Anton LaVey, the Satanist, on his birthday. The daughter has all kinds of weird, evil, like occultist things that going on with her. Hillary Clinton's has a kill list. These people are satanic, man. And I wonder why these people worship Satan so much. Why do the elites
sold their
love
souls
Satan
for fame and power? They've sold their souls, and now they're here. Then I believe that if you're soulless, you really don't have any manifestation powers anymore, because your emotions are gone, and that's what manifests things. So they're using us, they're mind controlling us to create the world that they want. right? They
Yep.
want violence. They want people, being nihilistic and just
Yes.
selfish, and they want that.
Do you think it's because they hate themselves and they're eternally damned, so they want to
They
basically bring as
they're
many people down with them?
they want to live forever, so they're trying to change creation. They're trying to change everybody into you know um transhumans. They think they
Mm-hmm.
can live forever. They want to upload their consciousness
Mm-hmm.
to the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to you know
Yeah.
do all the crap that they do.
So they're basically like Lucifer. They're fallen angels that are trying to defeat God.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay, back to the flat earth. Is there a hole in Antarctica? Because I've heard that there was a huge, gigantic hole towards into the middle earth.
Well,
A
the
hole
deepest
that
yeah, the deepest hole ever dug was in Russia. It's called the Great
I
Borehole. It's
remember
only
that.
yeah,
Yes.
it's only like
I,
7.5 miles deep, and then they hit an impenetrable barrier. So maybe you can't. That's the deepest anyone could go anywhere.
hmm.
And so when Admiral Byrd said he saw more land, they came up with the Hollow Earth, saying, he flew into the Earth, and that's where he saw more land and everything. And the
Mm,
Hollow Earth is another prison for your mind. It's a globe. It's still a
mm.
globe. You can go
Yes,
round
because
and
it,
round in
yeah.
circles. You're in a globe. You're in a prison. So I don't believe in that. Now, do I believe that there's a lot of shit going on underground? Absolutely. There's worlds. Could be
Yes.
worlds below us. There could be another sun below us. I don't know how that works, but we're not on
Uh-huh.
a ball. We're on a plane.
Well, in that picture, there is a sun below us,
No, no,
except
no,
it's
no,
like
no,
a
no.
haunt.
Well, that's the molten metal core, right? And
Yeah.
which is all pseudoscience, because they couldn't figure out what they were going to hit when they were drilling through the skin of the apple, but somehow they knew it at the core 4,000 miles later. They got
Okay, that's a picture of how far we've gone,
so
like a scale.
no. This is what they tell us the Earth is constructed of. But when they were drilling this hole, they were
Hmm.
using ground penetrating radar
Hmm.
to see what they're going to hit next, and it was wrong. It kept being
Mm.
wrong. They just kept, there's no more water, they hit more water. There's no more rocks, they hit more rocks. Okay, so that's equivalent on an apple to drilling halfway through the skin of the apple.
Yeah,
It's
that's all.
wrong every step of the way. Then all of a sudden, even though you can't get through this barrier here, you know what the next 4,000 miles is. Okay, a molten magnet is not a thing. Magnets lose their magnetism when they hit the Curie point, which is the amount of heat before they melt. They lose all their magnetism. You can't have a
Mm.
molten magnet, but they tell us
Mm.
there's a molten magnetic core.
Yeah.
They're laughing at us.
So what is gravity? There's no such thing as gravity? Or
Gravity is a theory about mass attracting mass. So, as I was telling you before, the sun is the cathode and the moon is the anode,
Mhm.
creating a current. The salt water carries a current. The land is the salt bridge. We have this incredible electric free energy system. Tesla proved it. Hutchinson proved it. Um, you know, so the Earth has a measurable negative charge. The Earth does not move, doesn't rise up, because it doesn't left, right, doesn't spin, doesn't do anything. It has a measurable negative charge. Once you lift off the Earth, there's voltage in the air, and the dome above us is positive. But when you lift off a meter off the ground, there's 100 volts. 200 meters off, 2 meters off the ground is 200 volts, and it goes up from there. So when you're in the air, the negative charge of the Earth attracts things down, and it's a weak force, just like they say gravity is a weak force, right? It says down is this way, right? It's
Mhm.
a weak force. Now, if I had a handful of feathers and rocks and ping pong
Mhm.
balls, and I dropped them over a pool, they'd all go down because they're heavier than the air. The ping pong balls
Mm.
would sit on top of the water. The rocks would go to the bottom of the water. The feathers would float down through the air, which is, it's denser than the air. So it's going, but not much. So it's floating down
Mhm.
slower. Buoyancy and density, relative buoyancy and density sort everything else out. Down is this way for me. Down is this way for you. Down is this way for someone on Australia. It's not up. Up is not
Yeah.
down. Down is down. Up is up. Forward and backwards are relative to whatever direction you're facing.
Okay. So that brings up a question. I always was totally confused on how you're telling me, not you, but the scientists are telling me that we have 70% of the whole entire planet is water, which is, I can't even imagine how heavy it would be, right? All
Right.
that weight.
and now
So
turn it
how
into a
the
ball and
hell?
you have cruise ships upside down oceans, and container
That's
ships.
what I'm talking
It's the
about.
dumbest crap ever. It's
Like, yeah, like
so
how?
friggin' dumb.
Yeah. So you have a little butterfly flying in the air, very,
Yeah.
it just floats. But you're telling me the ocean is stuck to the ground, but that little butterfly can just float around and it's no big deal? Wouldn't it be like, wouldn't everything just get crushed? Like, to hold down the ocean, you would need extreme amounts of pulling, right? So wouldn't it just all crush us completely if it was just pushing down on us like that? Like, only logically that sounds like if we were spinning and it was gravity pulling us, why wouldn't that happen? I can't understand how
Are
that
you trying to convince me the Earth is flat and that the ball is bullshit? Is that what you're trying to do? Okay, because you're doing a good job.
Yeah, yeah. That see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Repeat after me. I am a flat earther.
A flat earther.
There you go. Keep saying that a few times yourself.
I can't, dude.
I am a flat earther. Say it.
Okay, so I got to ask you.
Go ahead.
I know this. I don't want to get personal, but does your what do your peers tell you? Like, when you tell them that you're a flat earther, like, do they?
Everybody knows
crap
I'm a flat
about you.
earther.
I know.
Out there.
You're big. Yeah, I know.
They made fun of me for a while.
Like
some of them have defriended me. That's fine.
Wow.
Some of them
just for that
stopped making fun of me.
Mm.
Because they're like, and then they're just afraid to even talk about it. Some of them have become flat earthers.
I believe it.
Anyone with a brain can become a flat earther. If you don't have a brain, you still could become a flat earther.
It's kind of funny. Like, I would tell someone, I would just throw it at them just to throw them off. Like, hey, dude, what if the earth is flat? And they're just like, what? No, you're stupid. You're stupid. And then I'll be like,
they've been programmed.
I'll tell. Yeah, and I'll ask them about the gravity thing and the ocean thing, and then they just have this confused look on their face, like they're thinking, like, "Oh, hold on, I never thought about that."
No one's ever circumnavigated south. That's a big one for me.
Okay, throw that one at me.
So, if you wanted to go from Santiago, South America, or how about this? I got a better one. Buenos Aires, where to go? Is this it? Is that that's a different one. Where did my image
I did see one of your videos about the emergency landings. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. So Buenos Aires to Perth, straight line across Antarctica, but we don't want to disturb the migratory path of the penguins by flying an airplane at 45,000 feet over it. So I would say we just kind of go around a little bit, right? But that's not the direction that they go.
Where do they go?
They go
around.
Well, that would be the quickest, but instead they go from Buenos Aires to either Miami or Houston. Then they stop in California. Then they stop in Sydney, and then they fly over. Takes like 26 hours. Or they go this way: Europe, Singapore, Perth. That's a long Antarctica route. But why are they going that route?
Why do they skip Antarctica?
Because they can't, because Antarctica is not an island at the bottom of the ball, right? It's not this Antarctica is not an island at the bottom of the ball. They are at the opposite ends of the world. I see what you're saying. They're at the opposite ends of the world. This is all a lie. They tell us this is 13,000 miles around. So all you have to do is take a boat around here, measure it, figure out 13,000 miles. Just keep the shore on your side, go all the way around, 13,000 miles. Well, the problem is, it doesn't look anything like that. Captain Cook did it. It took him 3.5 years. This is the path he took, and he went 60,000 miles. The equator is only 24,000 miles. The equator is a circle halfway between the center, right? Yeah. That's the equator. Yeah. This is the path around Antarctica. 60,000 miles he went.
Oh, so he did do it. He
did do it. It took him 3.5 years.
Oh, shit.
It didn't go. It wasn't 13,000 miles. It was 60,000 miles.
What? And he just stayed and he hugged the ice wall.
Pretty much. I mean, this is one of the trips that he did. And over here, he did a little loop-de-loop exploring around New Zealand. But he charted 60,000 miles around.
Okay. Did God flood the earth? Did God flood the earth?
I wasn't there.
Do you think so? You don't think that happened?
Well, if he did, it sure works better filling up a basin than a ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Right. There was a time when Antarctica didn't have ice on it. And if you think about it, The ice is like 200 feet high. They always tell us, if Antarctica melts, the oceans are going to rise by 100 feet. I'm like, how could this little continent flood the ocean if it's with the ice on it? It would maybe raise it a quarter of an inch. But what if Antarctica was massive?
Oh shit!
Bigger than everything, with all that ice on there, and then it melts. It would just fill in the basin.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or the waters could come from above. When do we have a hurricane? We get rivers of water through the sky when we have low pressure. The high pressure is holding it up. Low pressure lets it in.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's a cool video. So you're telling me that the earth is flat. Everything I've ever known is
no. It's a spinning ball flying through an infinite vacuum, and you developed from an amoeba. Well, you're crazy, flat Earth.
Okay, let's get into that. So, do you think that they're hiding it from us because you said this earlier that they don't want us to know how special we are?
Correct.
Do you think that that proves that we're more special if the earth is flat, or do you think that
the shape has nothing to do with it? They don't want us to know that we're at the center of creation. They want us in a position where we can't deny that there's a creator, right? I didn't believe in a creator before I discovered the earth was flat. Then I realized there's a creator. There's no question. Once you understand that the earth is intelligently designed, you can no longer deny the creator, or the equator.
Yeah. So do you believe in intelligent design?
We are intelligently designed. Do you believe that we mutated from an amoeba, and our eye? Think what our eye can do. We can see color, distance, things. We can process faces. You're walking through a sea of faces. You can spot your friend, and it's, oh my God, there's my friend.
Yeah.
Right. That's because that's not a random thing. That is intelligent design.
I am a Christian. I do believe in intelligent design 100%. If you look at the flagellum motor, it is an organism that has tons of moving parts that would not be able to exist or evolve unless everything worked at the exact same time. There was no gradual mutation. It had to be that way the second it was made, or else it wouldn't have worked. It has a tail. It has a little engine. It has all these little parts that had to have all been created at one single time. And if you take one little part out, it doesn't work. So that's one of the proofs about intelligent design. I don't think that we were amoebas. And I know damn well that these freaking scientists cannot prove how this whole thing started. I don't care what they tell me. I don't care what they tell everybody. It's a bunch of load of shit. They cannot prove it. And as soon as they can prove it to me, then maybe I'll believe them. But as of right now, they say, we have no idea. Give us one miracle and we'll prove everything to you. And I say, hell no, you do not get that miracle. If you say it's all evolution, I want that damn proof how life started.
I agree 100%. There's no way. Did you know that the Bible has tons of proofs in it? Here's my app. Nice. It's called have you seen it?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I wanted to download it just so I could check it out.
It's the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. And because Google is hiding, all of the truth from us, if you Google Flat Earth, you end up with just garbage. You get a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you hit the web button, excuse me, the web button down here is Biblical Flat Earth. You hit that, up comes a playlist that Google will not serve you. These are amazing videos.
There you go.
Supporting the Bible. Amazing stuff. Great videos. All right.
Cool. Because I know every time I look up a flat Earth video that says, denying flat Earth, debunking flat Earth, you know what I mean? It's like, I didn't type that in. What the hell?
If you Google top 10 reasons the earth is flat, you're going to get top 10 reasons the earth is a globe, right? And it's because they'll just feed you nonsense. But here are the top 21 questions. What about seasons? What about eclipses? If I click what about eclipses, up comes a playlist of videos that Google will hide from you, and that'll teach you all about eclipses. This is it's an amazing app, and I made it.
That is cool.
It's one of the highest rated apps, man. Different playlists in different languages. It shows you how a real compass works. Okay. East and west are circles around the center. South is every direction.
Circles around the center.
Yeah, let me, when we get out of the app, I'll show you how that works. Um, it shows you time zones, right? Wherever the sun is, it's noon, and you have your time zones
Okay.
all around the Earth. The sun is
Oh,
a
okay.
clock.
So it rotates.
Yeah, the sun is a
Mm.
clock. The sun is where it's noon, and the sun laps the moon every 28 days, every 28 circles around. So the position of the moon and its phase
Mm-hmm.
keeps track of the weeks and the months. Months. Before I said there was 13 months of 28 days, but now
Mm-hmm.
that now they hijacked our calendar. So
Yep.
that's how that works. And if we
That is
turn on
awesome.
stars, right now the sun is in this zodiac. In a month, it'll be in this following zodiac, and then a month later, it'll be in this in Cancer, because the zodiac laps the moon once a year. So that's why the
Mm.
zodiac will kind of catch up to the sun a month at a time, each zodiac. And then the way seasons work
Mm-hmm.
is the sun migrates in between these two yellow lines. The inner one is the Tropic of Cancer, the outer one is the Tropic of Capricorn. If I jump forward to July, you'll see the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer. And look, it's going right over Florida, over Southern California, Mexico. It's hot there in July because the sun is high in the sky. It's over your head. But it's
Mm-hmm.
winter in Australia because
Mm.
it's far away from Australia. 6 months later, while we're having our winter, the sun moves all the way out to the Tropic of Capricorn. They have their summer. We have our winter because the sun is closer to them and farther from us. That's how seasons.
Okay. So I don't know why I thought this, but I thought when it was winter for me, it was winter for everybody.
Nope, it's winter. In December is the height. December 21st is the height of summer in the southern lands. Anything underneath that yellow line is having its summer in December,
That is
January.
crazy.
Yeah. And that's because the sun is closer, higher in the sky.
Yeah.
And when it's farther away, it's farther away and it's lower in the sky. Right? And check this out. What is this area in here called? It's called the Arctic.
Center?
Arctic. It's the Arctic.
Right.
The Arctic's in the center. It's all about the sun. What is the sun doing? What is the sun doing around the Arctic? It's arcing around the Arctic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Out here is the Antarctic. What's the sun doing? It's not arcing around me. It's antarcing away from me. The Antarctic.
Yeah, the terms.
The sun is
it's
antarcing
like
away.
Like they're telling us.
The sun arcs around us.
Yeah.
They are telling us. It's not like they're telling us. They do tell us. Also, I got images in here. Like, hey, you want to look at the moon lander? No,
that's dope. I like
check that out. Sure. Someone believes in the moon landing, just show them that and say,
what the hell is that?
It's the moon lander. This is what they landed on the moon. That's wire. That's like a piece of wire, right? There's duct tape. Look, there's masking tape on here. There's tin foil. Look at this thing. Show it to a structural engineer and say, I don't even think a person can climb in there without the thing collapsing.
Look at those legs. They look like garbage.
Yeah. It's made with curtain rods, paper mache, duct tape, scotch tape, and tin foil.
That's what I was about to say. It looks like paper mache. The legs.
Yeah. Look at this crap. Hell? And then this thing with its little engine took off and met with the lunar lander, with the orbiter, right?
If you show that to me, I would laugh at you. Like if you said, "Hey, we flew through space and all this stuff," I would, Right.
So you can show. There's all sorts of stuff. I keep adding new images to here as I come across stuff. So when you're trying to explain flat Earth to somebody, you can bring up, images. You can show them, here's the emergency landing. They were right near Hawaii when they had to land, and instead of landing in Hawaii, they landed in Alaska. Right? Go to the next image. This is what it looks like. Taiwan emergency happened right here. They landed in Alaska. They didn't go all the way out to Hawaii. That's how it works.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I have this question from one of my viewers, listeners. They asked, what about it being dark, I think, for months on end in Antarctica? What's up with that? Do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that works is the sun, when it's over the Tropic of Cancer on the inner circle, it's far away from Antarctica, and the sun never rises because it's just not close enough. Here, I'll show you again. I'll show you on
Okay.
I'll show you on the app.
Okay.
So where is it? There it is. So when the sun is out over Antarctica, over the Tropic of Capricorn, September, October, November, December. All right. So when the sun's all the way out there, this is their summer. They have their days, but they don't have 24-hour days. Like if you were over here in Antarctica, the sun's gonna go away. You're not gonna see the sun. Now you do have long days out there, and that's because of the way the light wraps around the dome. But if I move it inwards to the Tropic of Cancer, which is the closest it gets to the inner north, places like Alaska, the sun is never too far away. The sun is just this short distance away. Even when the sun's over here, it's not that far from the inner, and therefore the sun never sets because it just goes around. It's as the sun moves away, it sets. And then Antarctica is having nighttime because the sun's never close enough for it to light up Antarctica. So it's all dark out here.
Oh, so you're saying the outer rim is, let's just say if it's flat, that's why, because it moves inward, the sun moves inward, and it never gets the sun from the outside.
Yeah, well, it never gets close. It's when the sun is close to you. So as it's coming around, when the sun gets about here, the sun will be rising on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Right? I'm here on the East Coast. The sun's about to rise, and right now, boom, it's getting dawn. The sun appears, right? It rises up over me, and there it goes. So now it's late morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, boom, 12 noon, right here, bam, it's right over me.
Yep.
And it goes over. It goes over and over.
So I saw you move the sun like further in and further out. How does it do that?
It migrates in between them 6
like
months
almost
to go
like
to the outside, and then 6 months to come to the inside. On December 21st, it goes is when it dies out in the Tropic of Capricorn, and then 3 days later it starts to come back. It resurrects on the 25th. December 25th, the sun resurrects after being dead for 3 days. Sound like anything familiar?
Jesus. So it's almost like a circle, but it's like a swirl. Like it comes in a little bit.
It spirals in and it spirals out. And if you took a picture of the sun every day at noon, it makes what's called an analemma, which used to be on all maps, on all globes, but they took it off. And the analemma shows you the position of the sun, and it proves that the outer loop, as I'm trying to find it, the outer loop is a faster, bigger loop than the inner circle. Because you think about it, when it's out at the end of the hour hand over the Tropic of Capricorn, it's going faster because it's making a bigger circle, right?
Yeah. So it has to speed up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So it speeds up and it goes out. I just can't find that friggin' image.
So what is holding it up? Is it
I don't believe that the sun that we see is a physical object. I think that it is a projection. Just like when you use a magnifying glass to make a pinpoint of light, just go get a magnifying glass outside and it literally magnifies the sun. Well, that sun is just being focused through the dome into our reality or something like that. And then it's because it's a reflection, it's in a unique position for every person that's looking at it. It's not we don't see the sun in the same place. Two people that are looking at the sun that aren't standing in the same spot.
Yeah. So do you think that something is projecting it inside?
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's in the heavens
God
above.
or
God. Maybe it is God. I don't know. Maybe it's the light of God.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's the analemma. So this is what they used to be on globes, and this is the inner circle for our summer, and then it goes out here and it does a bigger, faster circle.
Whoa.
And that's because it's taking that bigger loop. And this is what the sun would look like if you charted it, every week, every day, or whatever. You got your inner loop and your outer loop. And so this is out south. This is in the north.
Is that how they came up with that picture?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's what it would look like if you tracked it.
Yeah,
that would make that weird
if
loop.
you track it. Yep, it makes a smaller loop in the north and a bigger loop in the south.
That's very interesting. When did they cut that out?
It's still on some. It's just not as prevalent. They don't teach it in school, not that I know of. I think anyone that sends their kids to school is insane. But
why do you think that they're brainwashing these kids in school?
it's because they're brainwashing them because they want to make them good worker slaves. They're not teaching. They're teaching them basic math so they can be accountants and they can work in their corporations. They're not teaching them sacred geometry or vortex mathematics, which is the true math.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't want to teach them anything that could question their power, that can question them. So
I can see that firsthand because my stepdaughter is like, she's starting to get that these teachers aren't as smart as they say they are. And I tried to warn her. I said, do not think that your teacher's smarter than me or smarter than any other
teacher is the one that was able to memorize and regurgitate the information that they read in their stupid books the best.
I could be a teacher tomorrow if you just gave me the stupid curriculum and said, "Oh, show the kids this paper and do that." I could do that so easily.
All right, Elijah, we gotta wrap it up. Any final question?
Yes, I have one final question. I've thought about this a lot. I wanted to ask you: do you think we'll ever get to the point where everyone is a flat earther again? Because I know that we got off it. Do you think that they'll ever let us accept us as a whole, as a human being?
So they're going to do everything they can to stop it. They're pushing the Great Reset again. It looks like they do it every 100 years. Right now we have everyone's wearing masks, everyone's getting the jab. Right. In 1920, they had the Spanish flu. Everyone was wearing masks. Everyone was getting the jab. 1820, cholera. 1720, the plague. Right. So they're literally trying to reset everyone's memory. Get rid of all of the old people. There's some crazy stuff going on, but people are waking up faster and faster. And the reason with all the insanity going on in the world that I'm pushing this is because if we ever get our freedom back, how long we'll be able to keep it if we don't know where we are, if we're spinning out of control, lost in space.
They want us confused and lost. So what would your answer is yes, everyone might wake up. Do you think there will be a point where we will all wake up, or do you think we'll be lost forever and keep being reset into oblivion?
I think it's happening more and more now. They can't reset us until we beg for the reset. So that's what they're trying to get us.
Yes.
To the point where we beg for universal basic income, where we beg for their assistance to bring us food, because we don't realize that you can just stick a seed in the ground and then water will fall from the sky and food will grow. Okay. I mean, that's not magical. I don't know what is, if that's not.
Yeah.
So they want us to be afraid of each other and not unite, because if we all united together, we don't need them. The world is fine. Everything's amazing. But they don't want that. So it's up to us. And you are the problem. You, Elijah, being a closet flat earther, you need to go and talk to people and help them. Now, some people are not meant to wake up. Right?
Yes,
that's
I agree.
Fine. You're let
stuck
them
in the
go.
matrix.
You let them have their NPC life.
Yeah,
move
their
on
ball reward
to the next person. I lost some friends. My brother and sister. We never talk about this. We don't even talk. And I made new friends. It is what it is.
Yeah,
everyone's having their journey. That's fine. So.
All right, David. Thank you so much, man. This is a lot of fun. I learned a whole lot. Go ahead and tell us where we can find you, your apps, and all that cool stuff.
The app is called the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay on Google Play. They already have a Flat Earth Society one to gate trap your mind. Sometimes that shows up first. Don't send me an email telling me my app sucks, because my app doesn't suck. Everybody loves it.
Cool. I liked it. I just by barely looking at it. It was cool.
Yeah, read the reviews. You'll know it's mine because they're amazing reviews. Highest rated app in the App Store. You need an Android 8.0 or higher, an iPhone 6 or better for the Apple App Store. It's $3 and you have it for the rest of your life. Every day you get a new video.
David. I like it.
It's worth it. There is a donation button in there for 99 cents. You don't have to donate. A little pop-up comes up once a day. You can exit out without waiting. No ads. You get it. You still get everything. You don't have to subscribe.
I want to add that it was not only the app, it had tons of information, and it was links to all the videos and all pictures. And I thought that was super cool. And that's something that even a person that didn't believe in flat earth, it would help them look at all the cool information and the proof that you're talking about.
What you do is you tell people, you can gift the app to them. It's got a little share link in there, or you can actually on Apple, you can buy it for them and send it to them. Okay. And you say, take the Flat Earth app challenge, watch the daily video every day, and you can win a Bitcoin if you
There
just
you
come
go.
up with one proof. And if you watch the videos every day for 2 weeks, even a week, you're finished. It's over. Okay. You're a flat earther and you're going to have to deal with it. Okay.
Nice. Ladies and
And if you
gentlemen.
don't, it's going to eat you alive from the inside.
Yeah.
So anyone that's listened to this and paid attention and didn't just roll your eyes and not think while I was talking, you're already screwed. It's over.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's over.
You can
You're in the
deny it,
matrix.
but it's not you're not going to have a good time. It's just going to build up like a dam with water. And then one day you're going to break.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
David Weiss, thank you so much, man. I hope maybe in a few months. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And if you forget the name of the app, the Flat Earth Podcast, theflatearthpodcast.com is my website. The Flat Earth Podcast Instagram, and my YouTube is DITRH. It's just the initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. But all of the links are on the website, theflatearthpodcast.com, or just search Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
David, if you
come right up.
If you want to send me a couple of links or that. Okay, nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, and I'll put them in the description.
Yep.
I'll upload this hopefully this weekend, if not for sure by Monday. Again, thank you so much, man. I hope everyone listens to this and keeps their minds open, and maybe we can awaken the world. You're doing a great job, and hope to have you back, and we can talk some more, man.
All right, Elijah. Thanks. See you, man.
Thank you, David. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
The Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock App, a dynamic new app to teach family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the hours and days. The moon measures the weeks and months. The star constellations measure the seasons and years. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face, or go hands-free. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock App with new added features. World Time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add your own or have the app change it to a new one automatically every time you use the app. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Web button for additional flat Earth related features, from the mythical curve calculator all the way to Tartaria. While talking to friends, easily pull up pictures that expose the globe lie and shine light on the flat Earth truth. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth, and clean screen features. Simply click off the items you don't wish to see. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.